and make it a presidential election in Eastern UP, then as I said, conventional wisdom has to be rewritten.
Sanjay, can the lack of presence on the ground, which the BJP clearly lacks in parts of UP, be made up by Mr. Modi's pull, as people are calling it?
I think so, because the kind of margin Rajdeep just spoke about is 14%. That clearly shows that party which was not very active on the ground is still getting so much traction. Do not forget that UP has actually still 4 or 5 states. So when we say it is a multipolar contest, it is not. In most of the constituencies, it is going to be straight fight. That was the case in assembly election also. That's why Akhilesh won with such a handsome margin. So what I'm trying to say, that in some areas it is SP versus BJP, in some area it is BSP versus BJP. So kind of polarization among voter is very, very sharp. I think if we are talking about demographic dividend, if we are talking about hope and change and opportunity being the buzzword of today's generation, then UP should show that evidence. That is why I am kind of willing to believe the numbers, but as Rajdeep puts it, it is a nightmare to predict UP in any election opinion poll. 1 or 2 regions, say Ruhelkhand, could go against BJP, or Eastern UP may not do very, very well for BJP, but overall they has a serious edge which cannot be kind of overcome in next few weeks.
Shireen, have you done the maths? Because Rajdeep is not going to reveal the numbers, because he'll want to reveal the numbers on his channel later tonight. Have you done the math, given that we have all the numbers in? What's it looking like for the BJP?
He won't come on to the show on India Business Hour if I reveal the numbers tonight.
There's an embargo, guys.
Yeah, but we can count.
I'm asking to count.
We're allowed to count and add it all up.
They didn't give numbers for certain states.
Yeah, yeah.
Sanjay, go ahead.
I can tell you the seat numbers that are being discussed in betting market. So Rajdeep cannot accuse me of disclosing anything and breaking the embargo.
Okay, but we will not talk.
Betting market says BJP 229 seats at even rates.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the betting market.
And that's the sort of number that the NDTV poll has also thrown up, Senthil. So I think that's the kind of number that we are talking about.
Higher.
230, 240.
Higher. All right. I'm not going to say anything more. No, my sense is. Sorry, Shri.
No, go ahead.
No, look, I think pollsters after 2004 have been conservative generally. That's my sense. I can say it today, but you can confirm this with Rajiv Karandikar. In 2009, in our final poll, we'd said UP, I think 230 to 235. And I remember telling him, Rajiv, they will get more. And he said, maybe, but we don't want to, let's not take a chance. Yeah. So I think there's been a tendency to be cautionary, and with the BJP in particular, polls tend to sometimes inflate BJP figures. So there is a need, to be a little cautious and about numbers.
It's a little bit like the emphasis guidance, Senthil and Menka. You want to under-promise and over-deliver. So I think that's the approach that most pollsters like Rajdeep are taking as far as the state of UP and the national picture is concerned. But very quickly, on the issue of UP and Eastern UP, as Rajdeep was pointing out, that is the information that we were getting anecdotally as well from the ground, that perhaps Amit Shah's ticket distribution strategy has gone wrong as far as Eastern UP is concerned. On the other issue of whether this is a BJP wave or this is a Narendra Modi wave, again, if you talk to senior reporters who are based in the state, and some of them were on Sanjay's show last night, and the reports that you're getting in the vernacular press also seem to suggest that it's not so much a BJP wave as much as it is a Modi factor that seems to be getting the votes going for the BJP as far as the state of Uttar Pradesh is concerned. Again, on some of the other things that perhaps they have done right in UP, there's been a lot of angst. They delayed ticket distribution till almost the 15th of March. There were concerns on how this business of removing Murli Manohar Joshi from Varanasi, removing Lalji Tandon, giving that seat to Rajnath Singh would go down with the party cadre. But I think they have managed to sort of insulate the public, insulate themselves from any public squabble over those seats. And they've also done something which is perhaps going to pay off for them in the long run, which is a lot of imported candidates, a lot of candidates from the Samajwadi Party shifting to the BJP, people like Jagdambika Pal, senior leader of the Congress, shifting to the BJP, similar things that we've seen happen even in states like Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan, and that perhaps could also work for them in UP.
All right, I have a question for Rajdeep, and that is interesting. Yeah, what I'm keen to try and understand is whose vote is going to the BJP in Uttar Pradesh. It seems from the numbers that the BSP and the Congress are losing the most, Rajdeep, based on the numbers that you put out last evening. What does this tell us about the kind of voter that either BJP or Modi is attracting in Uttar Pradesh?
Look, I think the social coalitions are shifting dramatically. Two things. One is the regional parties, there's a sense, have reached saturation on exhaustion point. Voters are exhausted with them, and they've reached some kind of a saturation point. But what we are seeing, yes, the upper castes are moving heavily towards the BJP. Some of the traditional voters who had drifted in the post-Babri phase from the BJP are returning back, the voters who stood by the BJP through the 1990s. But it's the other communities. The BJP is picking up OBC votes. The BJP is picking up large Dalit vote. Importantly, I would say every community outside the Muslims are today looking at the BJP as a serious contender. And that has to do with a sense of disillusionment with the two major regional parties. Some of these voters gravitated towards the Congress last time in 2009. But the Congress is also seen to have let them down. So now they are turning to the BJP. And the other thing, purely in demographic profile, is the youth. One of the biggest factors in Uttar Pradesh is voters under the age of 35. I'm not even going to say first-time voters, but under 35. This is where Modi is scoring big, and this is where his campaign of hope, whether you call it a manufactured campaign or a real campaign, is actually working on the ground. So I think it's a combination of all these factors that is giving Modi, propelling him forward. And I will say this, that in Western UP, there is a polarized campaign being run. There is an old-style Hindutva campaign being run in Western UP after Muzaffarnagar, a kind of identity politics which we thought we had left behind. The BJP is playing that in Western UP. In Eastern UP, they are playing the caste card. The one thing that unifies it all is Narendra Modi. They are playing it as a presidential election.
Sanjay,
if I can just add to, sorry Menka, if I can just add to that again, if you see the reports that are coming in, and you know, since Rajdeep was talking about voters under the age of 35, and I've seen a bunch of these reports coming in where people are saying that as far as the nation is concerned, we need Narendra Modi. As far as the state is concerned, we'll vote for Behenji. So, you know, again, there is a shift there from Akhilesh Yadav towards Mayawati and towards the BSP. But as far as India is concerned, or the nation is concerned, they seem to be absolutely clear that for the nation today, you need Narendra Modi, and that is the kind of demographic that Rajdeep was just talking about.
Yeah, that's interesting because it's not showing up in the numbers, at least, Shireen. The SP versus a 22% vote share in March 2014. In the previous one is now 23%, sorry, versus 2009. So the question I wanted to put to Sanjay was that is he surprised, or are you surprised, Sanjay, that the SP hasn't lost more of a vote share, especially after the Muzaffarnagar incident?
Definitely so. Even after government was sworn in, the kind of performance they showed, it was like a serious regret among the voters that they should have voted again for Mayawati. I think that story will play out later. Because of Muzaffarnagar, they have recovered some ground among Muslims. But I find it bit debatable point whether Samajwadi Party will still be number 2 party, or Mayawati, which is who always gets underestimated in such opinion polls, could still be number 2. Despite a kind of gap in the vote share, they are getting good number of seats, around 15 seats according to our opinion poll. So this is still not very clear that is Mayawati losing so much ground. But yeah, all old conventional logic about caste distribution of votes has been broken by this single factor, and the single factor is serious anti-Congress mood when it comes to vote for Delhi, and that is what benefiting Narendra Modi.
Okay.